Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dr. Robinson again, and we're going to continue our studies reviewing for the Grade 7 New York State Mathematics exam. So this is our show number 2, samples from the 2015 exam we're going to be using. So let's get started. But remember, if you need help with your homework, there's Dial a Teacher homework helpline at 212-777-3380. That's from Monday to Thursday at 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Remember to watch our show Math Time on Tuesdays at 4:30 to 5 p.m. on Optimum Cable Vision Channel 15. All right, here's where we last left off. A recipe requires 1/3 cup of milk for each 1/4 cup of water. That seems important, so I'll take a second to underline that. So 1/3 cup of milk for 1/4 cup of water. How many cups of water are needed for each cup of milk? Okay, so it looks like we are comparing. So let's start comparing our milk which is 1/3 versus our water which is 1/4. And we're going to compare by ratios or proportions, I'm sorry, equal fractions here, and we're looking for how many cups of water. So let's put X over here for the water and put a 1 cup of milk. And now to solve proportions, when we're missing a term, we cross multiply. So let's cross multiply. We have 1/3 times X is 1/3 X. 1/4 times 1 is going to be 1/4. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 1/3. Divide by 1/3. This will cancel out, but I'm going to take 1/4 and write divide by 1/3 this way. That looks a little bit better, because I know I could write it the other way, like that, but I'll write it this way. That way I remember my rules. I'm multiplying by the reciprocal, and reciprocal means to turn that second fraction upside down, and that way I can get my answer. 1 times 3 will give me 3. 4 times 1 will give me 4. So my answer is going to be 3/4, which is choice B. So let's get the B, drag it up here, and we are correct. So that was a nice problem, using proportions to solve our question. So there was another way I could have done it, because I know I already have 1/3 cup equals 1/4, so 2/3 cup would be double that, 2/4. 3/3 cup would be 1 full cup, which would be 3/4. So that's another way of looking at it. So we didn't have to do this, but a good review of division of fractions and proportions. Okay, here we got another question. This question reads, during a sale, a store offered a 40% discount on a particular camera that was originally priced at $450. Okay, let's underline some of that stuff. That was important. A 40% discount that was originally priced at $450. Okay, after the sale, the discounted price of the camera was increased by 40%. What was the price of the camera after this increase? So we got a couple things going on here. So we got a discounted camera, so it's going to go on sale at 40%. discount, if you remember, that formula we had to do a long time ago was for discount to find the total cost was price, the original price, times 1 minus the rate of discount. So the original price was 450, and we take 1 minus the discount because that's what we would pay. A quicker way to look at it would be you'd be paying 60%, because 1 minus 40% would give you 60% of the price. So we could use either one of these. So let's get a calculator so we can calculate how much is the amount of money that we would save and it would be the total cost of the camera. So we're going to get our total cost of the camera. So let's type in, either one of these will do. So you can type in this one or 60% of it. So I'm going to show you both. $450 parenthesis 1 minus 40%. So second left parenthesis and close parenthesis. So watch what we get. $270. That would be the price of the new camera. So at a discounted amount. And I'm just going to show you, you're really paying 60% of $450. So this is another way of looking at it. So 60% times 450, watch, you're going to get the same exact answer. And there you have it. So let's drag those over here so you can see that for yourself. So that's just to double check to make sure, and another way of showing you that the formula does work. Now, that's not all. They said that there was an increase from the discounted price by 40%. So now you're going to be paying extra amount of money. So this is the discounted price. And now you're going to be taking an increase. The increase is from the discounted price, $270, and that's going to be increased. It's like a sales tax. So if you remember the formula, it's the original price or the discounted price that's going to be now plus the increase. The increase is 40%. And this will give us a new total. So let's take a look at it with our calculator. So let me get off of that and get my calculator. And let's clear this. So $270 parenthesis, and it's an increase, so that's why we're adding. It's like a sales tax, a percent increase. 40%, second left parenthesis, close parenthesis, and press enter. There is going to be the new amount of money that we pay. $378. That's going to be the new price after they increase it by 40%. So I'm going with choice C. So there it is. There's the work that we did. We found the discounted price of $270, and now the additional 40% added on to the amount was giving us a new price of $378. And I want you to even notice the price was originally $450, so there's still a little bit of savings there. That was a very good problem. So I hope you're enjoying this so far. Check your understanding. If you understand so far, great. But if you're unsure, rewatch the video, write down your questions, and bring them in, and we'll answer them in the morning. All right, let's continue. Here's our next question. What is the product? And product, by the way, is the answer to multiplication, so that's a good word to know, of negative 1/4 times negative 3/7. Well, I showed you how to multiply fractions before. If you haven't remembered, just go back to our other video on multiplying fractions, but top number times top number and bottom number times bottom number. Or you could change it to a decimal if you like, if you have a calculator, and you'll be able to um, get your answer. But it's just top times top, 1 times 1 times 3 is 3, and I'm going to eliminate choice A and choice D automatically, so my choice has got to be B or C. Now 4 times 7 is 28. Now I notice I have a negative 328 and a positive 328. You got to remember your rules for multiplying, because I know 1 times 3 gave us the 3, the 4 times 7 gave us the 28, but now we got a negative times a negative. Same signs equal positive. So even if I have a positive times a positive, or a negative times a negative equals positive, but remember different signs is equal to negative. And those are the rules for multiply and dividing integers. So we're going to go with a negative 3 over, I'm sorry, a positive 3 over 28. So because the signs were the same on this one. So there it was. So that's why we're going with positive, and our fraction was 3 over 28. So our answer choice is going to be choice B. So that was a good question. Good question. And let's just push this to make sure. Oh, I underlined the wrong one, so it's choice C. So even your teachers got to be careful on this test. So let's erase that. Get a little eraser. So I did it right. And be careful on these multiple choice questions because they don't give you a second chance. So even though I showed all that nice work, let's circle the correct answer. So it's choice C. Okay. 3 over 28, positive 3 over 28. Even though I wrote the right answer, I circled the wrong one. Sorry. All right, let's move on. Okay, Carlos buys a 3.5 pound bag of cat food every 3 weeks. That's a lot of cat food. So let's underline that. 3.5 pounds bag of cat food every 3 weeks. Carlos feeds his cat the same amount of food each day. All right, so the cat gets the same amount of food each day. All right, so we could figure out how much cat food he gets in one day if we wanted to. But let's see what they're asking. Which expression can Carlos use to determine the number of pounds of cat food his cat eats each year? Okay, so they didn't give us the answer. They even gave us 1 year is equal to 52 weeks. So they didn't give us an answer. They gave us a way of solving the question. So we have to set this up. So my first question would be, if he's buying cat food every 3 weeks, let's see, and I know that there are 52 weeks in a year. I'm going to divide that just to see how many weeks. And make that 52. 52 weeks divided by 3. How many weeks he would be buying cat food? Because it's not 52 weeks he's buying 52 divided by 3, and that would give us how many weeks he would be buying cat food. And he uses 3.5 pound bags of cat food, because this would find us every week. So that would be the week. And here's your pounds of cat food. So pounds times the number of weeks. So it uses a 3.5 pound bag of cat food every 3 weeks. So let's see how much that is, because I'm noticing they're giving us fractions a lot here. So let me turn this into a fraction just to find out how much is that every 3 weeks. So here, that if we multiply, 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 would give us 7 over 2. Keep the denominator the same. So 7 over 2 pounds of cat food every 3 weeks. And remember, I said he's not buying it 52 weeks. If we divide that by 3, that would give us how much he buys per week. So if we multiply this out, that would give us the number of weeks times the amount of pounds that he buys. So this was an interesting setup, and I'm going to go with choice A, because that looks like what we wrote here. So the number of pounds, and he's not buying it per week, he's buying it every 3 weeks. So number of pounds per every three weeks, or versus the weeks if we divide it by 52. So I believe it's choice letter A. That was a tough question. And A is correct. So you need to try to figure out how much per week if you really wanted to, because we could have figured that out by dividing that and figuring out, multiplying it out, and see which one would multiply out to the amount of cat food that he would get, which is another way of dealing with it. But they did not want to do that. They just wanted the process of dealing with it. So the number of pounds times the number of weeks is what we ended up with. So this is a very good question to deal with. Very tricky. So try to reason it out. Watch what I did and check yourself and see if you got it correct. So if you understand, great, but if you're not sure, rewatch the video, bring your questions in, and we'll talk some more in the morning. So here's where we're going to pick up next time. What is the decimal equivalent of 7 over 8? So changing fractions to decimals. If you didn't watch that video, check it out. So remember, if you need help with your homework, dial a teacher homework helpline at 212-777-3380. That's Monday through Thursday at 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Remember to watch our show Math Time on Tuesdays from 4:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Optimum Cablevision, channel 15. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.